League is an ever-changing game, with 24 patches a year or one every 2 weeks. It's hard to deny League is never fresh, even in recent years with Riot seemingly slowing down their patches and only doing small buffs and nerfs to a few champions per patch. But in the past, League was more the Wild West with some crazy changes to both champions and systems. With some being so outlandish and game-defining, I thought we would go down a little trip to the past and explore some changes. This is changes Riot made to League of Legends that they want you to forget. Last year, Riot added Feat of Strength, a way to get boots upgraded for free if you completed 2 out of the 3 tasks. Those being, destroy the first tower, get the first 3 kills in the game for your team, and get 3 objectives on the map quicker than the enemies. But with the removal of Atacan in Season 15, the boots were removed as well, though some remnants are still here in the form of the mid lane boot upgrades on completing your quest. Though what if I told you there was a really old version of this back in Season 6, with 5 possible choices to purchase called Alacrity, Captain, Distortion, Furor, and the final one I couldn't find any information on, though it does seem that it existed. All of these gave different enchantments, as they were called, with Alacrity giving you flat bonus movement speed, Captain gave allies 10% bonus movement speed when you're walking towards the holder, Distortion gave your Ghost, Flash and Teleport summoner spells reduced cooldown, and Furor gave you movement speed when you hit an enemy like what Phage does today. These were removed from the game on patch 6.9, which was a massive patch, so it may have gotten lost in the patch notes. From what I can see, it didn't get much attention, and you can see why. All of these just gave movement speed in a different form, except Distortion, which would have been the most flexible in my opinion. But what do you think? If these were kept in the game, would they have been better than the Feat of Strength version we have now? Let me know in the comments below. The next area Riot would like you to forget about is old champion models. Now I know this is exactly something that Riot has forgotten about, as we still get reworks and champion VGUs every 5 years. But whilst I was researching this video, I came across the old champion models section and yeah... No, but really, I know League is pushing 20 years at this point, but some of these are just hideous. I'll just show some of my favourites on screen now, and let's just take these beautiful designs in for a minute. Now on a real, we are a lucky community to have a company like Riot who do provide us with frequent changes and updates to our champions in order to keep them modern and up to date. But I'd like to think Riot also have fun looking back at these and seeing how far they've come. Now this is where a lot of people either quit League or lost a lot of happiness from the game. The old Gamemodes. I could go on forever about the different types of game modes we have had over the years, but I want to focus on a select few I think made a massive impact on the game. The first one is One for All. For anyone unfamiliar with this game mode, it was essentially 5v5, but everyone on each team was the same champ. So you could have 5 Heimerdingers, and you could have 5 Aries, and it made for some amazing clips, like this one. It was released in 2013 and was a rotating game mode like the ones we know today, though they stopped rotating it in around 2014, and it has only ever been seen once again during League's 10-year anniversary in 2020. Rest in peace, One for All. You were a good one. Now the next one I want to mention is Hexakill. Now I think you can get the idea of what Hexakill is from the name, but it was basically League but 6v6 with 1 extra player on each team. This one came with more ideas than you would think, with different strategies such as 2 top lane, 2 mid lane, or even 2 jungle. While researching, I looked at the 2 jungler one a lot. A set jungler, like the one we have now, and you'd have a counter jungler. This jungler would go into the enemy's jungle and counter their junglers. But of course, this would also mean that the other team would also have a counter jungler. So, you can kind of get the idea of how that would go. But it did make for some fun games, and I do remember always being really excited whenever me or even someone on my team got a Hexakill, because you'd hear a special announcer voice. People would also just ARAM on this game mode, so you'd just go 6v6 in mid lane. It was pretty good. Now the final one I want to mention, and my personal favourite, is Ascension. For those who got to experience this absolute cinema piece of League history will know why it is my favourite. The concept was pretty simple. Teams had to get 200 points first by completing objectives, although, personally speaking, I only really cared for the big fucking Xerath in the middle. This Xerath was OP. It took a while to kill him, but if you did and you got to claim the Ascended throne, oh, you busted. You would gain infinite mana, a huge amount of health and AD/AP, depending on the champ, 15% bonus armor and magic pen, and 25% cooldown reduction. You were the scariest thing on the map, and you had fun doing it. I miss you, Ascension. Now, while we're on the topic of what the map Ascension is on, some of you will know that it's Dominion. Dominion was actually a set map, like Summoner's Rift and ARAM, but it was released in 2011 and was removed in 2016. The same year Riot removed those boots upgrades. It seems Riot was going through a little midlife crisis that year. Anyway, Dominion was a round map with 5 altars. These altars you had to channel and control a bit like Capture the Flag. Each team had 500 health, and doing tasks such as capturing altars and killing enemies drained the enemy's health. First team to lose all their health lost the game. where the concept was simple and it was just a bit of an all-out battle style of game mode with a typical match lasting 20 to 25 minutes. So if you don't want to play a full Summer's Rift game, that was your option. At this time, I'm not entirely sure if ARAMI existed yet. As mentioned, Riot removed this game mode in 2016 due to a lack of popularity. Riot really likes to remove fun things from the game just because it isn't popular, and I feel like that's something they're starting to regret now that the league is really like pushing its age a bit, and it's only got 2 maps, as we know, ARAM and Summer's Rift. I won't even get into the last one. Now, the final thing Riot really want you to forget about, and the one I think they really don't like people talking about, is clubs. Clubs was, in terms of overall status, a bit useless. They didn't really do anything except let you have a big group. They didn't give you any benefits, they didn't allow you to complete special tournaments with your club. They were just there. That was it. You got a tag, a bit like how you do in Clash, but this one was permanent. That was about it. I honestly can't go into much more detail about it because there's literally no details about it. That's all it did. So you can see why Riot got rid of it back in 2020. I found out that clubs lasted from 2016 to 2020, which actually surprised me because I don't remember this feature being here past 2017. That just shows how useless it was. I even found out Riot didn't even develop the clubs feature. It was a third-party software that did. It really was something that Riot just threw in there and thought, this might do something, let's try it. So, with that being said, those were 5 things that Riot really want you to forget about. And also thank you for coming down a little bit of a memory lane with me and watching until the end. Let me know below what your favourite feature in League was that has been removed and why you think Riot removed it. As always, I've been Archie, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you again in the next one.